What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talkin Mets and Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about the Mets targeting Frankie Montas, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys. So, are the Mets targeting Frankie Montas? I absolutely 100% believe they are. We saw the breakdown of the San Diego Padres and Mets trade over the recent days with Hosmer and Paddock. That was an interesting trade. A lot of people didn't like it. Specifically, a lot of Met fans didn't like it based on giving up Dominic Smith, even though we would get 3 pieces back. Paddock with the partial torn UCL. Hosmer, not exactly what he was a couple of years ago. But with Frankie Montas, I feel like the Mets were in on Sean Manaea, but it seemed like the Padres gave a better offer. The Mets still need a pitcher. If the Mets can somehow get Frankie Montas, this will be a rotation with Scherzer, Bassett, Montas, Carrasco, Walker. That is a rotation that you can say, all right, it could still be the best in baseball, not including DeGrom. And that's something that you can actually really look into. And Frankie Montas is obviously the ace of the staff for the Oakland A's. He's basically the last man standing on the Oakland A's. And they're basically having a fire sale. We are going to get into Frankie Montas' contract. We are also going to look at who else can be in the trade with Frankie Montas and his contract and his stats, along with Frankie Montas' stats and contract. And also a trade proposal that I believe is fair for both sides. And when it comes to Frankie Montas and the other pitcher that will come along with Frankie Montas, you're going to have to give up something to get something. This might be a popular trade amongst Met fans and amongst Major League Baseball fans. And we're going to look at it in just a second, guys. So don't forget to stick it to the end of the video so you can look at that trade rumor, that trade proposal, and let me know what you think about that trade proposal. The first person we're going to look at is Frankie Montas. His contract for the upcoming season is $5.25 million. Not very expensive at all. He's still under his rookie deal, arbitration eligible for the second time. That's going to be his contract for the 2022 season. And then he's arbitration eligible for the third and last time before he becomes an unrestricted free agent at the age of 31 in 2024. So the Mets would have him for 2 years of control. That's something that you have to look at when you're looking at what the Mets would have to give up and how expensive it's going to be prospect-wise and position player-wise just to get Frankie Montas alone. But to sweeten the deal, I want to also add another player that we'll look at in a second. But looking at Frankie Montas' stats, guys, his ERA last year was 3.37. He started in 32 games, so he is a workhorse. In the last couple of years, in 2019, 2018, he didn't start a lot. He had injury concerns, but he finally was healthy last year. Had 32 starts, pitched 170 innings. Home runs were 20 in 187 innings, which is really not bad at all. His strikeouts were extremely high at 207. This is a guy that if you put in the Mets rotation, could be actually your ace, but the Mets will probably put him as your number 2. And that's something to actually look at as too. So not only do you have Frankie Montas for 2 more years at a reasonable rate at $5.025 million, you got him for 2 more years. His stats last year were excellent. He finally stayed healthy, and that's something that is huge when it comes to the Mets rotation at this point. And he pitched the most innings in his career and had the most strikeouts in his career. So, looking at Frankie Montas and his stats and his contract, it is a no-brainer for the Mets to do whatever they can to get Frankie Montas, knowing he have control, knowing how good he was and stayed healthy last year. He can easily help this rotation while DeGrom is out for the next couple of months. And that's something that the Mets actually need, because yes, they can get by with this rotation at the moment minus DeGrom, but why just wait until the deadline and see what happens with this rotation and see how good they are? We don't have time to waste. We have a win now team, and that's why Frankie Montas should be a main target for the New York Mets and the #1 target right now to get in the pitching rotation. Now, the second guy that is going to be a part of the Frankie Montas package going to the New York Mets is Lou Trivino, the relief pitcher for the Oakland A's. Very good pitcher. Had 4 years with the Oakland A's at this moment. He looks really good. So we're going to look at his contract really fast right now. And he has a couple of more years of control. He's only making $3 million in 2022, which is very reasonable for a relief pitcher who is very good. That's another reason why you're going to have to give up something to get something, especially when you package him with Frankie Montas. It's going to cost the New York Mets, and we're looking at trade in a little bit. But he got 3 years of control. He got 2 more years of arbitration eligible years, and then he becomes a free agent in 2025 at the age of 33. So you're getting Trivino at his prime. And that's something that you have to look at as well when it comes to the contract. But when you look at his stats, because that's the most important thing right now, how good is he? Well, he's very good, actually. Hit 73 2/3 innings last year, 3.18 ERA, had a strikeout rate of 67 strikeouts. He only gave up 5 home runs in 73 innings, which is excellent. Yes, he played in a Cavaliers ballpark in Oakland, but still, he had to pitch on the road, obviously. Giving up only 5 home runs in 73 2/3 innings is absolutely amazing. And then you bring him to a pitcher-friendly ballpark in Citi Field is only gonna, maybe you'll increase his home runs by maybe 7, 8, 9. Not much more than that, but expect him to pitch around 70 innings. He can be a setup man for you, where you can always put down Trevor May and other pitchers that will be in this bullpen. It's an excellent move, an excellent package for the New York Mets to make. Look at his other years. In 2019, he struggled at 5.25 at 60 innings. He had less innings in his career so far, minus the 2020 season. But even if you look at 2018, 2.92. He's a very good pitcher. Very hard to find reliable bullpen arms, no matter what team you are. Trivino is a solid quality arm who is very good in the 7th and 8th inning. That's what the Mets can actually use a little bit more of, especially with the trade of Miguel Castro. So, with those two guys, what type of trade proposal, what pieces do the New York Mets have to give up to get Frankie Montas and Lou Trivino? Well, guys, it looks like this. The Mets would trade Dominic Smith and the #3 prospect shortstop Ronnie Mauricio going to the Oakland A's for Frankie Montas and Lou Trivino. Once again, guys, you got to give up to get something, guys. And Montas and Trivino, with those years of control, 2 years for Montas, 3 years for Trivino, you have to give up to get some. And honestly, guys, once again, Ronnie Mauricio is basically blocked on this team. Not only with Lindor, but also McNeil and Oscar Escobar over the next couple of years. Unless Ronnie Mauricio is put in the outfield full-time for the New York Mets in the minor leagues, it does not make sense. You might as well use that asset to get a guy that could be at the top of your rotation and in the top of your bullpen. And this will solidify your pitching staff. Make your offense don't have to score a ton of runs. You have so much depth in the rotation, so much depth in your bullpen, that this trade makes so much sense. And Ronnie Mauricio is still expendable. If they don't move him to the outfield, which it doesn't look like they are, Ronnie Mauricio is expendable. And Dominic Smith at this point is already hearing the trade rumors regarding the Padres over the last couple of days. Dominic Smith already said he wants to be a full-time player. He says he proved it. I don't agree with that. Dominic Smith is a good player, but when he's going to play maybe 3 days a week, why not get the most you can for him along with a prospect to get Frankie Montas and Lou Trivino? It makes the most sense for both teams. Oakland A's, very cheap players. Dominic Smith and Ronnie Mauricio will cost Oakland nothing. And the Mets, when it comes to Trivino and Montas, is around $9 million in total for this year, along with the control you're getting over the next couple of years with those two players. This trade is a no-brainer for the New York Mets. The Mets trade Dominic Smith and Ronnie Mauricio for Oakland A's Frankie Montas and Lou Trivino. It's a no-brainer, guys. This is an obvious trade the New York Mets can make. And then when the DeGrom actually comes back, if he does in what they're saying around June, July, guess what? whoever's not pitching well, if that's Taijuan Walker or Carlos Carrasco, well, guess what? You throw those guys in a bullpen, and now you have one of the best pitching staff in all of baseball with DeGrom, Montas, Scherzer, Bassett. I mean, that's amazing, 1 through 4. That's the rotation that it could look like if the Mets make this trade. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think of this trade proposal? Do you think the Mets should go after Montas and to spice up the deal a little bit more, get Lou Trivino coming to the New York Mets for Dominic Smith and Ronnie Mauricio? To me, guys, it's a no-brainer. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys, of this trade proposal. Would you change some players around? Would you want something else from the Mets? Or would you want to keep this trade and you do like it? Let me know in the comments, guys. I really appreciate all the support, guys. And as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.